if you are a witch, enchantress, magician, or any other type of magical, curious person who is running a business, particularly in the early stages, getting the god Mercury on your team could be the most lucrative decision you make, and one I highly recommend. I am about to exalt his name and share how you too can experience his wildly creative, rapturous energy. Stay tuned. My name is Anna Bellissima. I am an extremely powerful magician, as of course are you. I'm a writer and a shaman of words, and I work on this channel to equip you with all the tools and concepts you need to achieve everything you desire. Today we are talking about the deity Mercury, associated with the planet of the same name and also known in the Greek pantheon as Hermes. I'm going to tell you exactly how to initiate a relationship with him and what to expect from it. But first, and as ever, if you are brilliantly clever with the attention span of a gnat, like me, pause now and adjust the playback speed to 1.25 or even 1.5 and hold on tight. Now, before we get into the nuts and bolts of our Mercury devotions, let's spend just a moment examining why we might wish to do this. After all, it can indeed feel quite awkward the first few times we reach out to a new deity. Most of us, after all, are not culturally conditioned to feel comfortable and at ease standing in front of a homemade altar, giving a perfectly good piece of cake to an invisible entity and wondering if we're doing it right. In fact, you may even have been taught that it's actually sinful or wrong to do such a thing, in which case I commend your commitment to utter disregard for such a blinkered point of view. Given all the barriers put up by our culture's spiritual gatekeepers, in other words, the church, why would we wish to risk spiritual ostracization? The answer, kittens, is magic. For thousands of years, going back to pre-Christian times, the planets and the deities and archetypes associated with them have been invoked by alchemists as powerful benefactors. They have worn a clear path through which you can connect with planetary archetypes known to assist with the outcome you desire. Making an appeal in Planetary Magick is a creative act of relationship building, made with intentional offerings, respect, gratitude, specific requests, and reciprocity. Conveniently for the novice magician, the 7 planets of our blessed inner solar system represent 7 extremely helpful deities. Also conveniently, all of the deities have a well-established list of correspondences, or stuff they like, that will attract their attention and their energy. Foods, drinks, herbs, flowers, crystals, colors, totems. Each has their own glyph or symbol. Each has their own mudra, or hymn, or mantra. They have poetry, days of the week, of course, and even their own hours within each day. I imagine the planetary deities engaged in an eternal dance of unopposed and blissful creation. Our mortal offerings of appropriate correspondences attract the attention of the specific deity we need. Imagine Michelle Obama or any other dignified wise elder were visiting for afternoon tea. Before her arrival, we might make some discreet inquiries about her particular likes and dislikes, and if possible would have her favorite treats available and a posy of her favorite flowers in a jug on the table. We would certainly use the best china and place a comfortable cushion on a chair for her and generally tidy up the place. Before I get on to Mercury's particular preferences and how to use them to strike up a friendship or even a love affair, I should note it is extremely important to continue your practices of personal alchemy while creating planetary magic for several reasons. 1. Your internal blocks will stand in the way of incoming beautiful synchronicities. Working with these archetypes can also dissolve these blocks, although they often do so in a rather uncomfortable and tricksy way. 2. In the process of alchemy, transformation into a metaphorical butterfly happens after the painful and frightening disintegration into something formless and slimy. So you need to initiate that dissolving before creating something marvelous and new. And number 3, Your will, your desire, will always be reflected in the results of your magic, especially if your shadow wants one thing and your ego another. A practice of personal alchemy, in other words, shadow integration, and you can see my video on quick and dirty alchemy for more on this, unifies your will. Please also note, magic can of course only be created within the mundane, the actual physical existing in reality channels in your life. Magic to fly on your own wings, for example, will see you flying in the dream realm. Likewise, you will not become a famous author in this earthly realm if you never sit down to write. Remember, you do not need to believe in magic in order to practice it effectively. Magic is a technology. Perform the practices earnestly and be open to observing the results. After that extensive preamble, we are ready to talk about Mercury. Mercury and Jupiter are the two planets most frequently recommended for business and career purposes, but every one of the planetary deities have extremely useful attributes to lend to your work. My own business is dedicated to Mercury, who is particularly helpful in the early stages, so we will start with him. Mercury is the power of thought, creativity, words and how we use them. His is the energy of the humming supercomputer, the internet, digital currency and innovation. Mercury is the fastest moving of all the planets in the solar system, and he rules speed and technology, wealth, good fortune, healing, trade, commerce. All, I am sure you will agree, wonderful gifts for a growing business to harness. Metaphysically, Mercury is the archetype of the messenger and magician. He delivers messages between heaven, earth, and the underworld, traveling between the realms, and therefore on an individual level, he connects our higher self, our ego, and our shadow. He is also the god of thieves and tricksters, and why I do not necessarily recommend theft, except in exceptional circumstances. Asking Hermes for trickster energy is a highly effective antidote to imposter syndrome, or the fear of being found out and exposed as incompetent or unqualified. Before I talk you through this ritual, I want to remind you that this channel exists for the purpose of changing your life for the better, and the lessons I share here are transformative. Your future self will thank you for subscribing so that you never miss a thing. First, find a candle, orange or gold for preference, or white, a suitable cloth, card or tray to act as an altar space, and a few correspondences to attract Hermes energy. Gather any items you can from the list that I will put in the description, which is an incomplete catalogue of correspondences. The exact number is unimportant. Even just a slip of paper with his glyph drawn on will work. Magician's choice always, based on the time and resources you have available. Do not let perfectionism delay your practice. You have enough right now to start a conversation with Hermes. He is waiting and eager to work with you. Next, decide what you will ask for. Any of Mercury's powers are appropriate. You can request inspiration, clarity on your next steps. You can request his support to be a brilliant writer, or joy and fun in building your business. Trickster energy to overcome doubt. Whatever you feel will help you the most right now. And remember, you can always change what you ask for from week to week, even day to day or hour to hour. My own experience when first working with Mercury was that the inspiration and the next steps were coming much too fast. I wasn't able to keep up with the downloads I was being given, and I was so energized by his inspiration that I couldn't even sleep. So I asked him to slow down a little, to provide me with a sense of ease and playfulness, and to always give me plenty of time to do the things I need to do. The next step is to decide what you will give in return. Planetary deities tend to be somewhat transactional, so you should let Mercury what you offer in return for his favour. That could be more offerings, honouring his day, exalting his name. All are perfect, but just be sure that when he delivers that you do hold up your side of the bargain. Next, set a date. All of the planets are available to us all of the time. However, planetary magic is rather planetary, so your appeal will be strongest if you're able to perform the invocation on Mercury's day, which is Wednesday, and even in Mercury's hour, which can easily be worked out with a quick Google search. Again, do not allow perfectionism to hold you back. An invocation performed on a Monday will be infinitely more effective than no invocation at all. To the ritual. Clear and clean a space to make your offerings. Be clean, be in a place that is clean. Gather your materials and cleanse the space with smoke, sound, or clap loudly 3 times and say Hekas, Hekas este bebeloi to banish undesirable energy. Light the candle and incense and place all your offerings ceremoniously on the space you have cleared. Anoint your third eye, throat, heart, palms of your hands and base of your skull with an appropriate sacred oil or water if you have one. Humbly ask Mercury to accept your offerings. You can beckon him by reading aloud his Orphic hymn or saying something like, Hermes, I offer you this flame, this smoke, this food and drink. Draw near and hear my prayer. Thank you for your wondrous gifts that you bring to the world, and thank you for allowing us to access them. I humbly invite you to channel your gifts and your energy through me and my business. Please help me to say what you want here, so that I may bring more of your attributes to the world. In thanks for your blessings, I shall return to you with more and bounteous offerings, and I shall exalt your name. Meditate for a little while, imagining the absolute wonder of what it means to allow an actual deity to channel through you and your business. And then close the ritual by saying, Hermes, thank you for the generosity with which you share your gifts. Please stay to enjoy these offerings and leave whenever it pleases you. Then snuff out the candles. Don't blow them. It is generally considered impolite to blow on the elemental spirits of fire in this way. And note the ceremony, what you did, how it felt, and what came up in your magical journal. Congratulations, you have just initiated a reciprocal relationship with Mercury. Afterwards, note in your magical journal how your moods and dreams are affected in the days immediately following. And I know this all sounds very extra if you're not used to working with deities other than that of your religion of upbringing. As I explained in the beginning, it does require a modicum of ego death to put cake on an altar, to banish demons, and to say this kind of thing out loud. But I promise that when you see how quickly Mercury responds, you'll be chatting to him regularly and it will feel as natural as a phone conversation with an old friend. It's very enlivening and great fun to plan these rituals too. A mission like this is an extremely invigorating thing, and one of the greatest perks of being a magician is the research and acquisition of candles, herbs, crystals, and oils. In the coming days and weeks, practicing non-attachment to outcome is the single most important attitudinal adjustment that you can create on your quest to become a powerful magician. And again, you can see more about this in my video that I've linked below. Attaching urgency and importance to a specific particular outcome is symptomatic of a divided will. Whenever we are strongly attached, it is because we sense our shadow's longing for the drama and intensity of being denied that desire. And we already know that the shadow usually gets her way. For example, if I feel deeply attached to attracting a specific sum of money and I simultaneously have a deep fear that it may be impossible for me to achieve that, sure enough, impossible it will be. First, I must celebrate and enjoy the intense sensations of feeling undervalued, blocked, misunderstood, incompetent, financially lacking, less than, shut out of the success club, deprived, a failure, because my shadow's desire to feel those things is every bit as important as my ego's desire to have that money. And my shadow's masterful manifestation deserves to be celebrated. The moment we stop feeling victimized by the results we create from our shadow is the moment we start to feel already satisfied, fulfilled, powerful, creative. It is the moment we remember our power as magicians and creators of our reality. Once I am able to revel in the high drama of my shadow's desires, I feel delight and fulfillment, and my attachment to a particular sum of money or any other outcome goes away, and then it arrives. Simply put, the less attached you are, the more beautiful and unexpected the results you will see. There has been a lot of information in this lesson, so I have created a transcript including all the magical correspondences and invocations for your convenience, and you will find the link below. Beautiful one, I truly hope this short lesson has helped you on your path to unstoppable magical power. I can't wait to see what you have in store for the world now that Mercury is on your team. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe for more life-changing lessons. I love you, and I will see you next time.